All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. John Jelinek. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to train with us tonight. And I am fortunate enough to train tonight with my sister, Susie, and she will be talking after myself. So a little bit about me. I'm a chiropractor. I've been practicing for 16 years. A couple of those years were in England, and then most of my time now has been in North Dakota. So I'm a state north of Susie, right next to Canada, about a half hour from the border. We are gearing up for winter coming soon. So I started with LifeVantage in 2012. I signed up as a distributor. A patient of mine introduced me to the company. I started the business 4 years later. If you want to know that story, ask me later. But I started the business in 2016. I retail that product in my office. I also am doing the business as well on the side in the nooks and crannies of my day. And so I'm super excited tonight. I'm going to share my screen as I'm talking, but I get to talk to you about one of my favorite products. One of my favorite products that I think for all of us is really easy. I can't do two things at once, which is really easy to recommend to people. I have this product 2 or 3 times a day. I do not go a day without. I can't remember the year that AXIO came out, but I cannot live without it. I don't know about you guys, but if you have not tried this drink, make sure you pick it up, order it today. You're going to want this in your hands. And I thought it's a great topic to talk about now because we have, hopefully for most of us, school starting for those either in college or grade school or high school or whatever. And so this is a great product to get into your hands and for those people. So I always bring this up to people. And I think if you're anything like me, when you see somebody, you say, "How are you doing?" And their response, unless they are feeling fantastic, and in my office, a lot of people come there for different reasons, but a lot of people say, "I'm exhausted, I'm tired," you know, especially if they've had long days at work or whatever else. Pain can make them tired. And so this is always a good segue for me to, you know, eventually talk to them about AXIO at some point and try to get this in their glass and have them try it out. The ease of the samples is really nice as well, but AXIO has become my secret weapon. So Susie, can you see that? Yes, we're good. Yep. Okay. So guys, AXIO is my secret weapon. I use this all the time. My kids use this. My family uses this every single day. So AXIO has been classified into a group of nootropics. Has everybody heard of that? If you haven't heard of it, you're going to hear about it very, very soon. It's an up and coming market. And what nootropics is, they're basically drugs, supplements, or other substances that may improve cognitive function, particularly executive functions, memory, creativity, or motivation. I don't know about you, but I could sure use some of those some days, right? And so this market, just in this nootropics market, okay, this is growing. In 2015, they had over $1 billion in sales. Now, we classify AXIO as our energy drink line. Our Smart Energy helps with brain fog, right? And if you don't know what brain fog is, stay up with kids at night and get up early in the morning and be with kids again, and you'll understand what brain fog is by about mid-afternoon. But the energy market, and I was looking at some statistics today, the energy market in 2021 is predicted to be over $61 billion. That's insane. 33 to 34% of Americans aged 18 to 39 drink energy drinks every single day, and this doesn't even include the coffee habits that we all have, right? And think about that. I only said 18 to 39. So how many other people in those other age groups are drinking energy drinks? So we have something to offer these people in the healthy version or the healthy alternative with our AXIO. So one thing with energy drinks, and I thought this was a good visual just to let you know what kind of sugar is in some, and the main one in the States is Red Bull, but even look at Coca-Cola with the amount of sugar in it. And this is the downfall with energy drinks. There's increased amounts of sugar and caffeine. And if you look at some of the labels in the energy drinks specifically, there's going to be different wording for what is caffeine that you don't even know is listed in that group. And so basically, as you're drinking those, it's going to create an addiction, right, over time. And then you keep wanting more and more of this. Energy drinks have artificial flavors, colors, there's more calories. You get jitters, shakes, right? And then what happens is a big crash. So we have these 5-hour powers, right? If you go to the gas station and on the counter right before you checking out, they have 5-hour powers. So you go for 5 hours, then you crash, And then what? You want another 5-hour power, right? Because it only lasts for so long. So there's that addiction that it's created. One of the biggest things that energy drinks are associated with is cardiac arrest. A lot of young people, I think it was 2007, the rates with young people were doubled going to the emergency room for cardiac problems when they were drinking energy drinks. I see that a lot around here too. I coach hockey. This was not allowed in my locker room, and a lot of people, a lot of the kids, and I was coaching 15-year-olds, they wanted the Monsters, the Red Bull, anything before they play. And you can tell when it wears off when they're skating on the ice afterwards. And so what we have is the AXIO. Now this is an older slide. We do not have the grapefruit anymore. We had the 3 caffeinated ones, and then we have the decaf red raspberry. And AXIO has a lot of benefits. So when we look at some of the benefits of AXIO, we have, or well, let's look at this. Let's look at what it's made up of. I'm going to get to the benefits, but the opposite basically of the energy drinks, right? There's natural sweeteners. It's sweetened with stevia. We have no added sugars, natural flavors and colors. It's non-GMO. There's less calories. It's gluten-free, great for vegans, and it's banned substance control group certified. So athletes can take this test out of it when they get tested in the professional sport realm. So AXIO can improve our mood, helps with brain fog, mental fatigue, and really LifeVantage came up with a recipe for success. And their recipe for success is these ingredients right here. So when you read through these, and I'm not going to read through all of them, but you know, who wouldn't want some of this stuff in just these individual ingredients, right? Help support optimal mental performance. Yes, please. Look at L-theanine. L-theanine is the big one. This is sustained energy without overstimulation. So one person said they were taking this, but they didn't feel all the hype and excitement when they were working out. Well, this brings on the mental energy, which in turn turns out to be the physical energy, but you're not getting the jitters like you would with the energy drinks or the more caffeinated products out there. So a lot more cleaner. But this helps improve learning, performance, focus, and mental acuity. So L-theanine is a big ingredient that's huge in our AXIO. Green tea extract. And then the biggest difference with our AXIOs, because we have a decaf and a caffeinated one, is DMAE and caffeine. So in our caffeinated AXIOs, we have 100 milligrams of synthetic caffeine. In the decaf, we just have more green tea. And in the caffeinated AXIOs, we have DMAE, dimethylaminoethanol. So say that 5 times. And this is stuff you don't really have to say to your customers, but you should understand the difference in why there's caffeinated and decaf and what the difference is. The DMAE is huge. So when you read about this, this improves brain function, and they use this in patients or people with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and ADHD. Okay, so I'm staying compliant. I'm not going to say that we treat, cure, prevent, or mitigate disease, but that's what they're using DMAE in other settings. And so this actually is a type of antioxidant too. It actually works like an antioxidant. All right, so anybody recognize this? This is a fuse box, right? This is what I say to my patients. They say, well, what's the difference with this? What is it going to do for me? I'm going to try and make this as easy as I can. So I always think of the brain as the master control switch, right? When you look at a fuse box, what does the fuse box do? It controls everything in the house. And right up at the top, you have one main switch that turns them all on, and then individually they turn on. So when you're drinking AXIO, it's going to turn on the brain. It's going to give you energy. When that energy is in the brain, and when your brain is working optimally, those individual switches are turned on, and every single cord that goes to every component of your body is turned on, and it's going to work at an optimal level. And that's where your energy source comes from. It comes from the brain, right? And so this is what we need to do to control it. We need to turn on the master switch, and this is exactly what AXIO is doing. So like I said before, a lot of people that need this are people that have brain fog, help in concentration, focus, general fatigue, memory retention. Kids going back to school are going to benefit this tremendously. I just had a mom purchase 5 bags last week just to send her kid for college. You know, those that are working long hours, maybe we're doing more computer stuff now in the time we have with COVID. And this is a great one for controlling our thoughts. I was reading a book the other day, and I don't know about you, but I'm the type that all of a sudden I get squirrels in my head, right? And I have to stop and I got to reread the page, and I got to reread the page. So I was doing this the other night. Actually, I did 20 hours of continuing education this week. This is what it was. And I was sitting there staring at the computer and I thought, okay, I got to take a break. I went and had an AXIO and I came back to focus. You can just tell the difference within minutes. It's phenomenal. And so this is really my get stuff done drink. Again, I just had one a little bit ago. I had a caffeinated one earlier about noon today. So how I use it is this. I use it before my workouts. I go to the gym sometimes in the early morning and then sometimes at noon. So I always make sure I have it within an hour before I go to the gym. I tend to take mine following my circadian rhythm. So basically when you get up, you have a little bit more energy, you eat breakfast, you do your thing about mid-morning, you kind of get through a little lull. That's when I have my first AXIO. Then I eat lunch sometimes, unless I go to the gym. But if you eat lunch, what happens about mid-afternoon? In England, they call that tea time, right? We needed to have a tea to wake ourselves up. Well, that's when we go through our other lull. So I will have another AXIO. So I try to beat that curve and I try to beat that lull when I'm drinking my AXIO through the day. My kids take this before their sporting events. They also use this in school. We actually use hot AXIO. I don't know if you guys have ever tried this, but we take half a pack of AXIO and we put this in a tea, hot water, and we have that. Works well with sinus colds and just maybe even comfort and soothing and to help with any anxiety, especially at night before you go to bed. So I've really used that quite a bit, is the hot AXIO. Wintertime around North Dakota, love the hot AXIO. A couple tips: if you're sensitive to caffeine, mix half a bag of the caffeine and the decaf, mix them together. Experiment with your AXIO. I have the green dragon once in a while, which is the green grape and the dragon fruit. Sometimes I will mix the sour cherry and the red raspberry. So I kind of mix and match sometimes if I need a little bigger bang throughout the day. Make sure you're diluting it quite a bit. Sometimes you can get a nice and flush. I've had one. I put a full pack in a hot tea once. Wrong thing to do. I need to dilute it with a little bit more water. So if you do have people that are saying, you know, maybe that does happen, it can happen. So just be aware of that as well. Hand out samples of this. It's really easy to hand out samples of AXIO. People are going to feel it within having one or two of them. It's easy to send to new customers as a thank you, use for incentives. You know, and I make sure if I go anywhere, I'm opening my pack of AXIO in front of people. Okay, and so why I do that is because I create curiosity. And what are they going to do? Well, what are you drinking? What are you having? And there you go. There's your conversation, right? You can turn and tell them a little bit more about AXIO. The other thing that you can do is for social media, you know, everybody's building the business on social media. One thing, thanks to Brian Highfield, is we can use Facebook videos and create curiosity with AXIO. So if you haven't seen this, I'm going to play it. It doesn't take very long. Isn't that great? That is a great video. You add it on social media and make some comments on that, and people will start asking you what what do you have? Tell me more about it. So guys, stop wondering if AXIO works. It does. You just need to try it.